Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending today's webinar, How Solar EPCs Can Accelerate Financing Approvals with Smarter Photo Management. I'm Kelsey Misbrenner, Managing Editor of Solar Power World. Let's get started with today's webinar. I'd like to thank SiteCapture for sponsoring this presentation. Today, we will hear from Robin Droppa, SiteCapture's VP of Sales and Customer Success, and Kamal Shah, SiteCapture's founder and CEO. Now, I'll pass things over to Kamal to get started.
Great. Thanks, Kelsey. Welcome, everyone. We're excited to talk to you today about a big pain point for solar EPCs, financing milestone approvals, and how SiteCapture solves some of those challenges and makes it better, faster, and easier for both EPCs and finance companies. Just as far as intros go, I'm Kamal Shah, founder and CEO of SiteCapture. My professional background is 30 years in the software industry as a software engineer, entrepreneur. I spent most of my career just working on ways to help businesses run more effectively and efficiently through software. I started SiteCapture over 12 years ago, and we've been working in the solar industry since 2016, and it's been great to be part of the incredible growth that solar's experienced over the last 9 years, and be able to be part of that has been fantastic. Joining me today is Robin Droppa, our VP of Sales and Customer Success, and I'll let her give a brief introduction as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm Robin Droppa. I am VP of Sales and Customer Success. I also head up our Solar Finance Partner Program, and I've been with SiteCapture since day one, so good 12 years now. Really have enjoyed the time I'm spending in the solar industry, and I'll let Kamal go forward from here.
Great. Okay, just a quick overview of our agenda for today. So I'll start by giving everyone an intro to SiteCapture for those of you that aren't familiar with us, kind of what we do as a company and how we work in the solar industry. We'll definitely talk about our main topic for today, which is streamlining solar financing. Robin will be giving a live demo of our product and actually the very specific solution that we have developed for streamlining the submission of milestone documentation for solar approvals. Once we get through that, after that, we'll have a little bit of time to talk about some things that are up and coming in terms of new technology, specifically around AI for things that we see in the solar industry and things that we think will improve solar processes that we're incorporating into our product. And after that, we'll have a chance to get some Q&A and hear your questions and have a chance to answer them. All right, so let's dive into an intro of SiteCapture and who we are. So we're a software company. We have mobile apps and a SaaS cloud platform that helps solar companies better manage their field operations. We've been used by thousands of companies on millions of projects and have had over 200 million photos uploaded on our platform right now. Hard to believe, but I guess after 12 years, they start to add up. One of SiteCapture's key capabilities that we'll probably focus on today is really allowing field teams to easily capture critical data and photos on the job site and really document every stage along the solar project lifecycle using the SiteCapture mobile app and be able to do that on their mobile devices. And I think really talk a little bit about how SiteCapture's platform provides configurable templates and smart forms that really help ensure that complete, accurate, and consistent documentation is captured every time and in every stage of the process. If you look across the solar project lifecycle, SiteCapture really helps drive all of these various parts of the solar lifecycle from a field operations standpoint. So on the sales side, we're used for pre-sale site surveys, gathering all that initial information that's required to generate initial designs and proposals. On the design and engineering, post-sales site surveys, which capture a lot more detailed information that can be used for design verification, generating plan sets, and all the things needed to get permits done. On the financing side, which is what we'll be spending a lot of time talking about today, one of the key aspects is really being able to collect all of that key milestone documentation that help milestone approvals get done. On the installation side, really all the elements around managing installations and documenting every step of the process around whether it's installation or the electrical or construction, and all the things that are required for commissioning and system completion reports, being able to do remote QA and QC, and do all the things that are required to get inspections passed and PTO and get solar installations turned on. And then finally, after the installation, we're also involved in the O&M side, our platform gets used for doing routine inspections or for management of work orders on repairs that need to be done on solar installations. So that's kind of just as the overview of SiteCapture, what we do broadly, really diving into the main topic of today's webinar, which is about the solar finance process. We spent a bunch of time really trying to understand what the challenges were by talking to both EPCs and the finance partners we work with. And, really what we found when talking to EPCs, we heard, common themes. One thing is that it takes an incredible amount of time to collect, organize, sift through all the photos to find the ones that are needed and make sure EPCs make sure they can upload the correct photos, required photos that their finance partners need. That's really a time-consuming process. Oftentimes they find that they didn't have the right photos and requires another truck roll. They got to send somebody back on site just to collect photos that are required for getting milestone approvals. So that's obviously a lot of time and expense on that. And all of those things add up to funding delays and project delays that impact both cash flow for an EPC and just the experience for the customer. If their projects get delayed, it's not a great experience. On the finance partner side, what we've heard from them was that there's a significant cost to reviewing milestone documentation if they have to do it multiple times and there's rejections and a need to review things. That takes time and cost. There's a lot of time spent tracking down the photos. So if they don't get the photos they need, coordinating with the EPC to make sure they get them, to make sure they can get the funding approved and everything done. And the other thing is that our finance partners, they want to be good partners to their EPCs. They want to be able to work well with them, and they want to help alleviate frustrations around these rejections and funding delays. And those are the big challenges we were hearing and the things that we're really looking to help solve. We did a survey to really kind of dive in a little bit more to get a deeper understanding of some of the challenges, and a few interesting pieces of information came back from that, as we were looking into this. One was that 72% of EPCs that took the survey don't have specialized software for job site documentation. So they're just taking photos on their phone, gathering them up in Dropbox, using other things to put them together. And again, not a very efficient way to do those things. The second piece was 60% of EPCs end up having to do an extra truck roll per project at a cost of $400 plus. So a really, again, painful, expensive thing they need to do, and another challenge they experience. And thirdly, all of the EPCs, or a good chunk of them, 85% of them, said they really want their field ops technology to integrate with all the other systems that include finance platforms, their CRMs, and all of those various things. So sort of validated things that we heard when we were talking to EPCs doing this survey around the challenges and the number of EPCs that are experiencing these challenges. And that's really what we wanted to focus on in developing our solution and solving this big problem, massive pain point that exists. And we've been partnering with solar finance companies and EPCs to solve this problem. And I'll give you a quick overview of how SiteCapture works to solve it, but you'll get a lot more detail as Robin gives her demo. But I think the first step of it is that the SiteCapture app can be used to collect all the photos and data that's required for that milestone documentation, and really to ensure that all the required photos are taken the first time and that they always meet the requirements of your finance partner. That's really the main thing, trying to make it as easy as possible for the field tech to follow instructions and complete everything correctly the first time. The second step is really just ability to quickly review and easily review those photos and verify them. And then, most importantly, with just a single click of a button, be able to submit them to your finance partner. Everything is instantly in the finance partner platform. We've been working with a number of finance partners, including Everbright, LightReach, and others. But I actually want to make a kind of special shout out to LightReach, who's been our first partner that we've launched with, Palmetto LightReach. And they've been an incredible partner to work with, and we've really had great success in this program since we launched it at the end of last year. At the end of the day, we're trying to allow EPCs to get paid faster, accelerate project completion, and eliminate those costly extra truck rolls. And those are the problems we're looking to solve. And I'm going to hand it over to Robin so you can see this kind of in action live. Robin, over to you.
Okay, so hopefully you're all able to see our instance of SiteCapture here. And what you're looking at is, this is what SiteCapture looks like when someone with administrator or management permissions logs into the system the first time. And for showing you guys how this can work well for gathering the requirements you need for your solar financing, I'm going to go ahead and click through to a view of work. And what I'm actually looking at is a view of work that was automatically created for me, for my company, based on an account reaching a notice to proceed status in LightReach. So we have this integration connected already for this instance of SiteCapture. And you can see I've got a job closeout, or JCO, here with that notice to proceed status, and it's been automatically created for me. I open it up and I can see my LightReach account ID is already in there, the property address, the homeowner name. And all I need to do to get this out to the field to be worked on is fill in a few bits of information. So if I happen to have a due date that I want this worked on, I can put that in here. I can assign this out to the person in the field who's going to go and do that work. If I want to, I can also assign a manager, like an internal administrator who maybe manages all of this particular work, either by market or by a crews that I manage. And then I could set a priority if I wanted to. So I'll just do that for you. And now this will be ready. An email notification would have already gone out to the person in the field. And I could also send them a quick in-app message. So I'll just say, I'll just let them know that I want them to check in with me when they get there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch over to my mobile view so that you can see what this looks like for the person who's out in the field actually completing this work. So what you didn't see was just that we had some work already assigned to this field user. And then this new item showed up because I recently assigned that. Just so you're aware, I'm logged in, like I mentioned, as a field user. Our system is role and permission based, and that means that I can only see the work that whoever administers SiteCapture for this company has allowed me to see. In this case, I can also see some indicators that I have actual messages in here for me to read. And by the way, I could also see my work mapped out in a map view. And in that map view, I could, click on the pinpoints and actually click through and get driving directions to find these locations. In this case, I'll drill into just that new work item that I showed you that I had assigned out, and I can actually read that message. I can actually reply right here as well, just a little in-app messaging between the office and the field. And then everything you can see here are requirements. These little orange indicators are telling me that this is where I have things that I'm required to fill out. And if I don't meet my requirements, it's not going to actually let me submit this. Now, in the interest of keeping this kind of on a decent timeline, I'm going to actually log into one of these that I've got that is in progress. So I've actually taken most of these photos, and I just want to show you what it looks like completing this. So I would be able to easily find the areas that I have work left to do. So for example, I see I've got something here in site info. And one of the things I wanted to point out is our system has what we call templates. So that's basically the back end of the form. And our customers get to manage those forms. But in the case of one of these integrations, for example, this LightReach integration, they've actually created this form for you. And so one of the things they're taking advantage of is what we call conditional logic. So that just means if I answer a question a certain way, additional questions and additional requirements can come up. And so if I answer no, there's nothing additional to do. And now I've met that requirement. If I go down here where there's electrical photos, you can see I've already populated a lot of these photos here for you. But I can scroll down and find the field that needs to be filled out. And in this case, it's got example photos. We've learned that these example photos that the solar finance partners provide are one of the biggest things that help the people in the field get the photos right the first time. Now, unfortunately, I'm not out on a solar installation site, so I'm going to have to take a photo of a poster for you. But you can see it's as simple as me just pressing that little orange camera icon, and then I can focus in using my fingers, so I can pinch in to get like a wide angle or zoom out, to pinch out to get a zoomed in look. I press the big white button and I take my photo. And in addition to actually just taking that photo, and incidentally, I can use like finger focus and things like that, but I could also do some additional light editing here. So in this case, one of the requirements was to mark up that photo so I could actually draw on it or circle things or do what I need to do there. And then finally, I could also add a caption to that photo. So in this case, I could use voice. Any place that we have text fields, you can use voice to text. And now I'm done and I've met that requirement. Another thing I just wanted to point out to you is we do have what we call dynamic fields, but really I like to think of it as a mini form within the form. So this allows our customers and our partners to create a way that you can add items as you go. So in this case, I'm going to add this production meter. I'm just put in the number for that meter so I meet that requirement. And then again, I've got an example photo showing me what specifically needs to be taken. And I would read these instructions, and then I would click my camera icon again, zoom in, focus, and take that photo. So now I've added that, and if there were additional, I could just press that button again and add more. I'm going to fill out this final requirement here just so that I can show you again what it looks like. Here's my example. It's asking me to draw on it. I'm going to take a picture of my poster again. Now that I've done that, I've actually filled out all the required fields. So what I can do is say, go ahead and mark that complete. When I go back here, what's happening, and this is actually going to be syncing in the background. And if I wanted to, I could move on and work on something else while that's happening. I did want to just open this to show you, because we are a template-based system, you have unlimited capability for the number of forms and the types of forms that you can create. So this is just to show you an example of something completely different looking, completely different form, different fields, but all of this can exist all within the same application. So now I'm going to switch out of the mobile app, and I'm going to show you what this looks like again back on the website. So now that I'm back here, a couple of things. First of all, I could see the activity. So I can see that this particular JCO or job closeout was marked submitted from field. So I could actually drill right into it here. Now you do have the option, you could actually allow this to go straight over to the Palmetto LightReach portal from the field if you'd like. You could also set this up with stages so that you have an opportunity to review this work before it gets sent over to Palmetto LightReach. But I did want to show you this particular job. So this would be here. And I'm in actually the LightReach Palmetto Finance portal right now. So this is the account here. And what I would do, so I'm going to keep this open for a moment. What I would do is I would review it in SiteCapture. So I can go photo by photo. I can either flag photos that I want to send or don't want to send. I can annotate them, delete them, mark them up, add captions, whatever I might want to do. So after I've gone through and done that review, if I've decided that everything's complete and ready to go, I would simply change this status to ready for LightReach. And what's happening is this is actually instantly transmitting all of these required photos and a full copy of a PDF report over into the LightReach Palmetto portal. So let me refresh over here and I'll just show you what that looks like. So now if I'm in this account, I can scroll down. I can look at the install package. And what I'm going to see is all of my installation required photos are going to be located in the correct buckets. So my project site photos are here. My roof photos are here. My electrical photos are here. So instead of me having to go and click upload and drag these photos in or upload them one at a time, everything was instantly transmitted over. And last but not least, it actually would include a full PDF report. So even the data points that are included in that report will be sent over to LightReach. So that's a simple and quick example of how this all works. Like I mentioned, SiteCapture's system allows you to have an unlimited different set of forms and templates in here, so you can do all kinds of different work in the system. But if you're connected through one of our Solar Finance partner integrations, you'll be able to actually have that work automatically created for you and make sure that the requirements are the ones that are sent over from the Solar Finance partner. So what we've seen is just amazing results. The first time approval rates on customers working without the integration versus EPCs working with the integration, we've seen jumps as high as 85% approval rates first time, with 40% without. So this has been a game changer. We've had tons and tons of positive feedback and lots of excitement from companies. Getting up and running with us has been very quick. And like I said, they're instantly able to start working with these job closeouts and get those requirements met. Kamal?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Robin. So maybe just flipping back a couple of slides again to show kind of, what Robin was illustrating was really the simple 1, 2, 3 of what we support around streamlining this. One is be able to use the SiteCapture mobile app to ensure that you're capturing all of those photos and data that are required, right, the first time on the job site while you're on the job site. Have an opportunity to review them from the office using our web application, web portal, scan through those photos, and then with a click of a button, submit everything to your finance partner. Those are really the key things we're trying to do and really simplify the process. And as Robin mentioned, great results that we're seeing so far, and excited about the additional partners that we're going to be rolling out with over the next few months. Great. And I think, it's been great. Robin's demoed what's possible today, what's in the product today, how it works, and we're already seeing great results. But I think some of the things that we're really excited about, in addition to that, are some of the technology advancements that are coming. As everyone knows, AI is everywhere these days, and everyone's hearing about all the hype. But I think what's been exciting for us to experiment with is seeing the power of those AI platforms and how it can specifically be used to solve problems in the solar industry. We're working on AI-based solutions that are completely integrated into our platform, not just AI for AI's sake, but AI that actually helps with the various steps that you've seen Robin demo and how to make those faster and kind of have an assistant to help make those things work better. Really, we're looking to do that in 3 areas, kind of the 3 areas that you saw. One is leveraging AI to make sure that we can have even faster and more complete and accurate data capture, providing feedback directly in the mobile app as photos are being captured and ensuring that they've been taken, having them be analyzed through AI and make sure the right photos are taken, and making sure that everything is done before the field tech leaves the job site, and hopefully be able to do that quicker than ever. That's one area. The second area is really leveraging AI-based computer vision and image analysis technology to really extract information from those photos. So as opposed to having to do a lot of extra work to document things and take photos, but actually use the photos to extract information and be able to identify things, like identify objects that are in the photos, be able to extract text. Those are the kind of simpler things. But then more importantly, to be able to detect issues or potential risks around the incorrect equipment was installed or there's non-compliant wiring. Those are the kind of things that we're looking to also be able to do and be able to flag those things for manual review for someone to look at them. We don't expect AI to take over everything. But again, I think in the assistant mode of being able to detect some of these things and help the people that are doing the manual review be able to do them faster and make sure things get flagged in advance is some of the really cool stuff that we're playing around with, experimenting with, and starting to see some great results. And then the final thing is, now that you've got all this information and done this analysis, what can you do around doing faster decision making? Being able to determine right away that, it's the wrong equipment, it needs to be replaced, making those decisions, or that something's not quite right, not going to pass inspection, or is not going to quite meet the financing milestone, and be able to shorten the timelines for addressing those situations, and being able to make quick decisions to resolve them. Really excited stuff that's coming there. We're going to be working on this. We're currently working with our customers and partners on this, and have been able to already build some pretty cool early technology enhancements to our product that'll be rolling out over the coming months. So I think it's going to be happening everywhere around solar. That's our piece of leveraging AI to help EPCs and our finance partners streamline things even further. So keep an eye out for even more news that's coming soon about all of this exciting innovation over and above what we're doing today. And that's really the presentation part of today's webinar. Thank you very much for your time for listening. Hopefully you learned a little bit about what we're doing on the solar finance side to streamline things. You can visit our website at sitecapture.com/solar for very specific information on solar. Email us if you want to learn more. And for those of you that are going to be at Intersolar next week, we'll be there, and we'll be at booth 3039. So come visit us there. I think I'll hand it back. I think there's a bunch of questions, and we're happy to answer those.
That's right. So now we'll begin our Q&A portion. Please continue to submit any questions you may have in that Q&A window. All right, so first question, how long does it take to implement SiteCapture and train my team? Do you offer setup and training support?
Yeah, great question. And the short answer is yes. And for the longer answer, I'm going to hand it over to Robin, who is the one who manages all of our customer onboarding and getting them up and running.
Thanks, Kamal. So for how long, I will just say, for something like what I showed you, that can be set up in a day. So it's very quick. The actual connectivity for the integration, it takes less than 5 minutes. So you can be up and running very, very quickly. We have a great customer success team that offers onboarding, full training and support, and we're kind of known for being overly good in how we hold hands and how we make sure that you guys get up and running successfully and that this works well for you.
Perfect, thank you. The next question, what's the process when images are rejected by the finance partner?
Great question. Well, the hope is that images will no longer be rejected, but I know that's not really reality. They're still going to get some rejections, and I think there are some processes to ensure they can be resubmitted easily. Again, I'll hand it over to Robin, who's working closely on these processes, to answer in more detail.
Sure. So it really depends on the finance partner. So it's really up to them. So however they want to manage that. We have seen some indication that some of these partners do want to start managing a little bit more around rejection, maybe within SiteCapture, but I think Kamal kind of made a joking point, but it's actually kind of true. We're seeing less and less images be rejected when they're using this integration. So again, it really is individualized in how the solar finance company themselves wants to manage if they do have issues with images, but they can communicate through SiteCapture if they want to.
Perfect, thank you. Is SiteCapture being used for commercial and utility scale solar or only residential?
Yeah, great question. SiteCapture is primarily used in residential and commercial today. We do have some use on utility scale solar, but it isn't the primary customers, especially around these finance things and the photo collection. We're mostly in commercial and residential. Looking to expand into utility solar and happy to chat with customers that are looking for solutions in utility scale.
Thank you. Next question, what other tools does SiteCapture integrate with, and does it integrate with the Teamwork app?
Yeah, again, great question, and a really important one. Our philosophy from day one is to make sure that we build a platform that can integrate in with other technology. Having a lot of standalone systems it helps in certain places, but to really get full automation and really get efficient, technology systems need to talk to each other. And we have a variety of ways to support integrations. So we have a number of native integrations. So for example, the integrations we're building with our finance partners are built right into our product. So as Robin mentioned, with a few clicks in a configuration screen, you can be connected to your finance partners. We also have native integrations for Salesforce and some other applications. The second thing we do is we support a platform called Zapier. Zapier is a platform that allows you to connect any of a whole, literally thousands of cloud apps together. So if you're using a Dropbox or a Google Drive or any other kind of standard cloud apps, the Zapier platform makes it really easy to connect SiteCapture into those apps and kind of be able to define your own workflows without needing to do any coding. So that's another great way to do integration. And then the third approach is that we have an API, which is basically an integration platform that developers can use to connect apps together. So if you're a a company that has developers and you're integrating in with other stuff through your developers, we fully support that. And that's the most powerful way to build a really custom integration to get things really streamlined and really automated in ways that fit your business. So all three of those are ways that we support integration. And again, we're always happy to talk to customers, discuss those options in detail, understanding what they want to integrate with, and then recommend solutions and approaches to best integrate with all the platforms they're using today.
Perfect. Thank you. Next question. What is your fee structure?
Great. Oh, I apologize. There's actually one specific question about a product called Teamwork. Unfortunately, I'm not specifically familiar with Teamwork, but would be happy to learn more about it and answer questions about it. Again, if it's on the Zapier platform, we can definitely integrate with it. Obviously, through the API, if there's ways that these applications be connected, that's always possible as well.
Okay, great. So the next question was, what is SiteCapture's fee structure?
Yeah, we have a few different levels of fee structures. All our pricing is on our website. So if you go onto our website and look on the pricing page, you can see it there. For what you looked at today, pricing starts at $350 a month. That includes 10 users, includes the integration into the finance platforms, includes all the features that Robin demonstrated. A lot of our advanced features includes integrations through Zapier. So for $350 a month, you get 10 users and all of those features.
Okay, great. Next question, are only the images sent over to the finance partner, or are the comments, image captions, and other data sent over too?
I can jump in there, Kamal, if you want.
Yep, absolutely.
So there's quite a bit of choice here. One of the things about SiteCapture is it's a very flexible system, and it allows you as a customer to actually configure things yourselves. So our finance partners usually have a PDF report that they've designed, and you can choose to use that report and send over as much as that report allows for. So that could include images, captions, comments, you name it. We also allow you flexibility, though. If you choose to have images that you don't want to send over, or if you have comments or things that you don't want to send over, you can actually choose to use a different report when it goes through the integration. So a little bit of choice there, but by default, it's set up with a PDF report that would include pretty much everything that you're asking about.
Thank you. Next question, what other solar financing companies are you integrated with?
Yeah, great. Today we've launched our integration with Palmetto Lightreach. We're also working on an integration with Everbright, and we have 3 or 4 partners that we'll be launching in the next quarter that we can't quite announce yet. We would love to, but can't quite chat about yet. But our objective is to make sure that SiteCapture is integrated with all the major solar finance platforms, and that there's solutions for submitting milestone approval documentation and other processes that need to be supported for working with finance companies.
Thank you. Someone's wondering, how quickly can a company be up and running with a financing integration?
I'll hand that over to Robin as well.
Yeah, again, it's relatively quick. So we've got people who subscribe to use this and can have this delivered, like I said, kind of within a business day. And then there's just a few little tactical aspects of connecting the integration, but we'll typically do that and walk you through it, and it can take 5 minutes. So it takes about a business day depending on when you sign up. And then, like I said, just a quick meeting to walk you through setting up the configuration, and you can be up and running immediately. And it will actually backfill too. So if you've got work in that notice to proceed state with your finance partner, especially with Lightreach Palmetto, it'll actually as soon as we've got it connected, it'll actually instantly fill and create those JCOs for you to start working on right away.
Okay, and it looks like we have one more question. Someone was wondering what the biggest hurdle you guys are facing with this program and how you're planning to fix it.
Yeah, great question. I mean, I think, one of the challenges I think everyone faces around new technology is just getting user adoption and making sure that people can adopt it easily. When things are new, it's always a little bit of a challenge. You got to do things differently. There's a small learning curve with some of these things, but these are things that we've been addressing for quite a while. And between Robin and her team providing training, before with really focusing on building a product that's very easy to use and adopt and get up and running. That's really how we have always addressed it and continue to address it, is to really make sure we work closely with our customers to make sure that they get all the things they need, to make sure that as a company they can adopt it and each of their users can adopt it in a really easy way, and always looking to take customer feedback on ways we can improve that. And always trying to, provide the best user experience that we can to make sure we streamline that kind of user adoption.
Awesome. I believe that was all the questions. Was there anything else you guys wanted to close with before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think that I think what's been great about this, and I think we're seeing this across the solar industry, as I mentioned, we've been working in this industry for 9 years, and really great to see the level of collaboration that's happening across the industry these days, across a variety of different types of players. And I think really illustrated through our partnerships with these solar finance partners. So we're always looking to partner with more. We're always looking for ways to collaborate to solve industry problems, to solve problems for EPCs and finance companies. I think that's been one of the greatest things about this whole process, is how we've been able to work together with customers, with EPCs, with installers, with finance companies, and with the industry as a whole, to find ways to make the whole industry work better. And this is one small piece of it, but we're always looking at ways to do that, and looking at ways that we can help everyone leverage technology to streamline and be more efficient in this industry, and help continue to scale it.
Hey, Kamal, I wanted to, if you don't mind, just add one thing on there. When we were talking about the challenges for adoption and what we've done with the product, and, I agree, obviously we get tons and tons of feedback about how easy it is to use our product. But I think I wanted to mention one other thing is, as part of the solar finance program that I do head up, we do a very, very thorough partnership with our solar finance partner companies, and we will prepare like full go-to-market with them. We do all kinds of webinar content, training content, video. We work really closely with the solar finance partners themselves to embed ourselves in their systems. They embed themselves in ours. And we just make sure that we can make it really easy for them to get their EPCs up on board. So I did want to just mention that. So in addition to just getting usability and making sure that users can use the product, which we feel really confident about, we're also very good at partnering with the solar finance companies and making sure that we get this out, that their relationship managers have what they need to get it out to their installation partners. So sorry, Kamal, just wanted to add a little tail end to the question before.
Yeah, it's great. And I think it goes back to, for the finance partners, we know each of our finance partners has different needs. They operate their businesses differently, and we enjoy collaborating on ways to work together that works for them and the way that they do business. So I think there have been some questions around that as well, which is, how do we work with solar finance partners? And we collaborate. That's really probably the short answer.
Perfect. Well, thank you to our speakers. Those were all the questions that we have time for today, but if we didn't get to your question, we will reach out to you directly. Please take a moment to fill out the survey that will pop up when this webinar concludes. We will use your feedback to improve our future webinar programming. This webinar will be shared with all registrants, so you can view it again at your convenience. I'd like to thank our speakers for being here and SiteCapture for sponsoring today's webinar. And thank you to everyone for joining us. We hope to see you at more Solar Power World webinars in the future. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.